If you find yourself always triggered by other people's actions, you might need to dive deep and figure out what it is that's going on with you and why you're even allowing them to affect how you feel about yourself or ruining your day. Nobody should have that power. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about ways to just stop caring and just move on with life and be happy and at peace. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So the first thing I want you to do is to dive deep and figure out what your triggers are. What is it that happened to you that triggered you in the first place, and understand what those triggers are. For example, if you dealt with fake friends, like me for example, I dealt with a lot of fake friends, you understand that certain things will trigger you with friendships, and you know, I'm gonna stay away from those type of people who trigger that in me. Sometimes it's not a thing where we have to just suck it up. Sometimes certain things are just a triggering sign, and a lot of the times if it's triggering you, it's just a warning sign telling you that you've seen this before. It's a replay cycle happening, and maybe you need to remove yourself from the situation before it gets any worse. Stop fighting your gut feeling and understand the difference between when you're just anxious and when something is telling you that something is genuinely not right. But don't force yourself to be around people who constantly trigger you. If somebody is for you, it's not going to be triggering. If somebody is for me, I'm not going to feel sad when I leave around them. I'm not going to feel a certain way of anger when I leave from around them. I'm going to feel a sense of peace. Yeah, sometimes you can be anxious around people or just human emotions, but when you're constantly feeling a certain way around a person, sometimes it just means that they're not supposed to be around you. You're not supposed to be around them. It's just not clashing right. A lot of the times we try to force ourselves into situations or onto people just because we want their approval, we want their acceptance, knowing that every time we leave from around them we feel away. Focus on how you feel when you are done talking to that person or when you are done being around that person, because that really matters too. I noticed that a lot of my friends who ended up being fake, I knew it all along, but I just didn't really pay attention to it because I realized that after I left them, all the time after I left the situation with them or after I got done talking to them, I would always feel a sense of like sadness or just like a weird feeling like someone was talking about me, and most of the time I was always right. So a lot of the times we have to recognize our triggers and understand that that's probably just God's way of telling us, okay, this person is not for us. This is a repeating cycle. Don't let stuff repeat over and over and over again. Don't let people constantly play with you. Now the next thing you need to do is to learn how to not care. Now when I say not care, I don't mean don't care about how you treat other people, but I do mean stop caring about what other people think about you. If you're not hurting anybody else emotionally or physically, it doesn't matter what they think about you. You're treating everybody with respect, so what they feel about you does not matter. Some people are just not going to like you, and I had to learn that too. Like, some people are just not going to like me, and that is okay. As long as I love me, I like me. I actually don't like me, I love me actually. So you liking me doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, people will move on with their lives and you'll be focused on them and realize that you didn't do anything for yourself, but you worry about what they thought about you when they don't even think about themselves. They don't care. A lot of times some people aren't like us to the point where they put into like how they treat other people or think about it. They don't think about it. They do, and then they go along with their day. A lot of people are just going through personal stuff. Like, I've had so many friends, like fake friends for example, that like kind of like just ghosted or like disappeared or just started acting funny, and I would feel like I did something personal, and I'm like, did I do anything to them? And then years later or like months later down the line, I realized that the reason why they did it was because they was going through something personal, but they didn't have the courtesy to tell me what was wrong or tell me, oh yeah, I'm going through something. You know what I mean? So don't take everything personal. Even if it is personal, if they haven't told you what it was, it's not your problem. You know what I mean? As long as you know you're not intentionally doing anything to anybody. Some people are just envious of you. And it doesn't matter how you look, it doesn't matter what you have going. Some people are just envious of the energy you have. So their presence is always going to trigger you because you can feel their envious energy. I realize that too. Like, I feel so uncomfortable sometimes around certain people, and I feel like some of my spiritual people and some of my like people with discernment can understand what I mean. Like, I felt so uncomfortable around certain people in certain situations, and I didn't realize until like years later that it was actually all because they were fake and envious, like literally envious. And I don't want to be that girl that always says, oh, everybody was jealous of me, but people used to, growing up, girls used to treat me funny. Like, that's really what it was. So now in situations, certain stuff will really trigger me, and I had to learn that some triggers is actually telling me that this is not the person I need to be around. And what they feel about me does not matter. I feel like I've been talked about so much to the point where how someone else views me does not matter. And I want you guys to get to that point too, without having to go through the heartache of dealing with a fake friend or dealing with someone talking behind your back and actually caring. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to like me. Not everybody's going to like anybody. That's just what it is. Somebody out there is going to hate you. all well. As long as you like you and you love you, that should be all that matters. So when you let certain things get to you and certain things trigger you, that's just a sign that you don't have enough love for yourself. And I understand, we're humans with human emotions, especially as females. Things will genuinely get to us, but it's just how we handle things that get to us. Stuff could get to you, yeah, but do you find that you let it ruin your day or let it ruin your week, even year? I've dwelled on stuff so much that happened that really, for one, wasn't personal, two, was just the person's issue with me being jealous or something like that. And I've dwelled on that for so long that I looked up and I'm like, wow, I could have been focusing on me. Just because you're getting work done and you're moving forward does not mean that you are focusing on you completely. Imagine how successful and how further you could be if you focus on you completely 100% and lock out everybody else that is around you with the distractions. You know what I mean? You could be so much further instead of focusing on what other people think or what other people have going on. You know what I mean? I found that I have so many different triggers with people, and that's the problem. People. I have to stop focusing on people. If I stop putting my focus on people, then I won't be stressed and triggered because I'm not focusing on it. You can still be social with people. I'm not saying isolate yourself, but don't care. Like, hang out with your friend, go home, do what you have to do for you. A lot of times we'll hang out in scenarios and we'll go home and we'll think, oh my God, I wonder how they felt about me. I wonder what they thought. I wonder if I did this. Stop it. Because most of the time they're focusing on whether they did that with you or not. So get that out your head about what other people think, how you look to other people, because at the end of the day, you cannot control what someone else thinks. You know how many thoughts run through our mind in a day? You think someone's going to spend all day thinking that one thought about you? It is what it is. Do what you want to do with your life and stop letting other people trigger you and stop you from doing what you need to do for you. Because being bothered and being triggered is what's stopping you from becoming the woman that you want to be. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.